Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to this Talkin' and Grubbin special edition. I continue with my top 10 unsung NBA champions. I move on to number 9 with the 1981 Boston Celtics. Now, we all know that the Celtics won 3 NBA championships during a 5-year span during the 1980s. But this was the team that started it all. Larry Bird was picked 6th in the first round of the 1978 NBA draft, but he didn't sign with the Celtics quickly. He decided to go back to Indiana State for his final season, which a player could do back in those days under the old NBA rules. Bird led his Sycamores all the way to the NCAA title game, where they ended up losing to Magic Johnson's Michigan State Spartans in a classic battle. GM the Great Red Auerbach did not want to pay Larry Bird more money than any Celtic he had on the roster at the time. So Bird's agent threatened by saying that Bird would enter the 1979 draft, where he could have been the number 1 pick, and the Celtics would have lost all rights to Bird as soon as that draft began. So instead of risking losing Bird, they agreed to a 5-year, $3.25 million contract, which was the highest rookie deal at the time. The Celtics saw the dividends of Bird's contract pay off tremendously in his rookie year. The team finished 61-21. They made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they fell to the Philadelphia 76ers in 5 games. Entering the 1980 NBA draft, the Celtics had the number 1 overall pick. Red Auerbach traded the number 1 pick as well as another first-round pick to the Golden State Warriors for Robert the Chief Parrish, as well as their 3rd pick and another first-round pick. And with the 3rd pick, Red drafted Kevin McHale. But McHale was brought in as a 6th man to back up Larry Bird and Cedric Maxwell. The Celtics hit the ground running during the 1980-81 season and started balling. By the time the All-Star break hit, they were sitting at 43-10 with the best record in the NBA. They finished with the best record in the NBA at 62-20 and clinched the first-round bye. The C's also finished 5th in offensive rating and 4th in defensive rating. They also finished 8th in points scored and 2nd in points allowed. They swept the Chicago Bulls in the 2nd round to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, setting up a rematch with the Philadelphia 76ers. The Celtics found themselves down 3-1 against the 76ers, but they stormed back to win 3 straight to advance to the NBA Finals, which was called the NBA World Championship Series at the time. They didn't change it to the NBA Finals until 1986. They matched up against the 6-seeded Houston Rockets, led by the late Moses Malone. Judging on paper, you would have thought this series would have been easy peasy for the Celtics, but the Rockets were a very scrappy team. The Celtics won a close game 1 at home, but the Rockets came back and won a close game 2 at the Garden. Once the series shifted to Houston, the Celtics blew out the Rockets in Game 3, but the Rockets came back and won Game 4. Then the Celtics dominated the Rockets in a wire-to-wire victory in Game 5 at the Garden, which set up the all-important closeout game in Game 6 at the Summit in Houston. Headed into Game 6, Moses Malone gave the Celtics a little bulletin board material after Game 5. After Game 5, he said, and I quote, "Boston ain't that good." Well, Malone found out how good Boston really was as they dominated starting out in Game 6. The Celtics were leading by as many as 17 points in the 4th quarter, but the scrappy Rockets would not go out quietly. 13 unanswered points by Calvin Garrett cut the Celtics' lead down to 3 late in the 4th quarter. But Larry Bird and Cedric Maxwell turned the lights by hitting clutch shots down the stretch, which sealed the game and the Celtics' 14th NBA championship. As all 5 starters scored in double figures in Game 6, Bird finished with a double-double by averaging 27 points and 13 rebounds, while Maxwell finished with 19 points. Cedric Maxwell was named Finals MVP as he averaged 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists throughout the whole series. Larry Bird averaged 15 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists throughout the series. Also, an interesting note, according to Cedric Maxwell, when he won the finals MVP, he received a gold watch instead of the finals MVP trophy that all the players receive now. A few days later, millions of Celtics fans converged on downtown Boston to celebrate their champions. A lot of NBA analysts and fans say that the Lakers and Celtics in the 80s put the NBA on the map globally. But a lot of people seem to forget it was the Lakers 1980 championship and the Celtics 1981 championship that got the world turning. 2 down and 8 more to go. What's your take on the 1981 Celtics? Leave it in the comments section below. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. QC out. Also, I will be live streaming during every game of this year's NBA Finals until a 2019 NBA champion is crowned. So, join me in the chat. Hey, what's up, good people? It's QC once again. Now that you saw the video, subscribe to the channel. When you do, click on the bell icon so that way you won't miss any new videos from me and be mad. Let your family and friends miss those videos and let them be mad. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, like me on Facebook. Thanks for watching.